Hey, happy travelers, vacation travel hacks here. 2024 seems like it's a long way away, and the summer of 2024 certainly seems a little longer than that. But you can actually start planning now. And actually, there's 4 easy tips to save 400, 800 plus on 2024 summer flights to Europe. The trick is we have to start researching now. So here we go. Summer 2024, it'll be a rolling about 11 months out on most international travel is about how far you can see. So already you can see Memorial Day through about the middle of June. The cool thing is, if you want to travel to Europe next summer, you now can kind of see during the cooler, quote unquote, time of the year for Europe. And this, if this is something you want to do, it's a little cooler than it will be certainly in the back half of June and in July. And for the Americans who are highly air conditioned and have not traveled abroad in the summer, I can tell you air conditioning in America, air conditioning in Europe, they are two different things. One is similar to that of a fan, and one is nice and comforting. So if AC means something to you, and you can go in early June, cool. Otherwise, you may want to take a look at hotels and the reviews to make sure that the AC meets the needs of the Western folks. So, tip one, you can start looking now, and you probably have an idea in mind and how much you'd like to spend. If you see airfare drop to where you think it should be, book it. The good news is, if it goes even cheaper, you can adjust. Just take a look and make sure the airline permits it first. And then what exactly are you getting? Are you getting a refund of the difference, or are you getting a travel voucher? I travel Delta. They give me e-credits, and e-credits expire, and we take it that way. So you can take a look now. Some savings can occur there, and just kind of walk it out. Tip number two is your destination matters. So if you're going from JFK to London, you can spend about 700, 800 bucks. If you're going JFK to Rome, it can be about 700 to $1,400. And I put Norse on here just it's the lower part of the average. I mocked through a couple of their bookings. They have a lot of flights, but they kind of they will nickel and dime you. So if you're going to Europe and it's just you, and you don't care where you sit, you love sitting in the middle for transatlantic flights, and that it'll be 500, 700 bucks. If you want to pick a seat, if you need to sit together, if you're going to check luggage, if you're going to have carry on, then oddly enough, the price starts ending up with the big boys here. All right. So tip number three. Remember the JFK to Rome price here was $1,300. But if you go from New York to London, London to Rome, Rome to New York, if you add a leg, check this out. That $1,300, you instantly save 350 bucks right there. And so that's just something to think about. And heck, maybe you want to go to London. If your goal was to end up at the Rome to either hop on a cruise ship or see the Colosseum and the Vatican, there's stuff to see in London too. Maybe add a couple days to the trip, see the Stonehenge and Big Ben there. So certainly, right there, just that one add a leg. Sometimes it's counterintuitive. Adding a leg can save you hundreds of dollars. And that's per person. If you're traveling with four, you just saved yourself $1,000 in airfare and maybe added value to the trip. Now we have to understand that when you add a hotel stay, is 200-300 bucks a night. So there's a little give and take, but you're adding memories that you get to choose. I'm just telling you what I see, and you get to see if that's something that you're interested in. If you're traveling through Atlanta, if you're traveling from Atlanta, it's the busiest airport in the world, and it is also the most expensive airport in the world. It's my airport, and so I'm always on Google Flights trying to beat the system, and I kind of did. Let me show you first. This is from pretty much anywhere else in the world, these top prices. Look at this. If I want to go from Boston, if I want to go from New York, Detroit, Chicago, these are all the prices. If I somehow end up in one of those cities versus, and this was to London. London. These were London prices. So $400 to end over at London. If I want to go there from Atlanta in the summer, and just like this last summer, they want about 1,500 bucks. So it's always cheaper to fly through New York. I'm a party of three, so if I could, and getting to New York is pretty cheap. It is. It's very cheap. But remember that. Oh, let me go back a few slides here. So this is Atlanta to Rome, Barcelona. London Heathrow was $1,300. Check this out. If I go from Atlanta to New York, New York to Rome, Rome to New York, New York to Atlanta, we end up with that was $1,000. So I saved $300 by adding a leg. And there's pros and cons to adding a leg. Obviously, the pros, hey, for a party of three, I'm saving about $1,000. The con is now I'm flying through New York, which isn't super thoughtless. I'm just but hey, what would you do to save money? And we could see the Statue of Liberty. Tip number 5 here: explore Google Maps for your most efficient route. So in red here, we kind of have the most right now as of end of July 2023. If you're trying to get over to Europe right now, from these red cities to these red cities, it appears to be cheaper. If I want to go from green to green, it is the most expensive. But if I end up at from a green to a red, red to a green, it's cheap. And just play around with it. Just see what you can do. Here's what I'm trying to plan here. I'm trying to plan a trip from Atlanta through London to Rome, hop on a cruise, and then work my way back. So right now, it looks like with a little bit of careful planning, if I'm completely thoughtless, I'm spending about, I don't know, 1,700 a ticket. Otherwise, it looks like I can get up there for about 1,000 a ticket, easily save myself $2,100. And that, if you're familiar with the cruise industry, is a drink package. Or several soda packages, if that's more your speed, or a few coffees anyway. So anyway, hope these tips find you well, and it's not too early to think about 2024, and let's see what we can do. All right, team, travel safe.